Here.
With the 13th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Brock Bowers, tight end, Georgia.
All right. So Brock Bowers is going to the Raiders.
Welcome to the Put on Waivers Media Group, home of the Put on Raiders podcast and the Student Body Right podcast. This is your place for the best breakdowns and the best insight for those who fight on and bleed silver and black. Now, here are your hosts, Dwayne Douglas and Ryan Holmes.
Put on Raiders podcast, Dwayne Douglas here. Before we get the big show going with Ryan Holmes and another one with Saul Lopez, also we'll have Coach B on, talk about the draft and everything like that. There's a war. What's going on here? There's a war going on outside you can escape from. Isn't that what Mom Deep said? There's a war inside Raider Nation where the management is always right, and the guys who are the outliers, people like myself and others who talk about quarterback every year, and this team has never prioritized that position. It's been 18 long years where they have not taken a quarterback in the first round. The Raiders, I think in Tom Brady's career, the Patriots, who already had the GOAT on their team, have taken more quarterbacks than the Raiders have in that time frame, if you pretty much look at it. When you go over and look at the history of that time period. This is a good class. Is a solid class. Is it, what grade will you give that class? We'll talk about the grades on the Put on Raiders show with Ryan Holmes and others. But to me, if you have a class of quarterbacks like this and you don't get one, then what is this class? Are you Gardner Minshew is really going to be the guy who takes the Raiders to the next plateau? AOC is going to beat, Lamar Jackson is going to beat some of these really good teams out there in the National Football League. Like, we can sit here, we can chat about it, we can talk about it all day and all night. And now that, everybody will use the excuse that they didn't have a chance to take one because they were at 13. I mean, it is what it is. If you really want something, you go out there and get it. And the Raiders refused to go get that, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating for me because I'm on the outskirts of it. I'm not gonna wax poetic and blow smoke up here on this channel. We don't blow smoke up here behind and let you know that, hey, this was a great draft and the Raiders are going to go win the division. Like, you notice how people are going to say, hey, we'll be playoff contenders, right? They'll say repeatedly they'll be playoff contenders, but nobody's ever going to say we're going to win the division and challenge the Chiefs. Nobody's going to say that because they can't do that. They can't say that. They know how absurd that would be if they said that. And if you're not making moves to challenge the Chiefs, what are you doing? And what we're doing is just lacing the pockets of Mark Davis. Allegiant Stadium is one of the most beautiful places in the country to watch a game, to watch a concert, all those things. But, the bread and butter is supposed to be Raider football. The bread and butter is supposed to be the Raiders doing what they have to do to show this fan base that they're serious about beating Patrick Mahomes. Now we can go ahead and look at Christmas Day and think that is some sustainable formula for beating Patrick Mahomes. I'm sure Patrick Graham did a great game. I mean, he called a great game on Christmas. Raider fans forget about the game that we played against them earlier in that year, but that's neither here nor there. The Chiefs lost that game and didn't lose the game for the rest of the season. As far as that goes, the Raiders did not take that game and go anywhere else with it. They lost. They I think they lost to the Chiefs. I mean, sorry, the Colts after that, and then after the season, and then they ended the season against the Broncos. And I just don't understand whether it's Mayock and Gruden, whether it's Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler, and now you have Antonio Pierce and Tom Telesco, how they can look at that quarterback room and say, we have a legit chance to do something special. Is Brock Bowers a really good player? Of course. Is Jackson Powers Johnson a really talented interior lineman? Absolutely. He's fantastic. I love watching that dude play. Even though it was against, he was a Pac-12 and now Big Ten foe. But for us to think that this is another year, where they're going to be when the season's over, when the season is up for grabs in the last 2 weeks, they're going to say the Raiders are still in the hunt, right? That in the hunt page will be still there. It won't be they're in first place against the Chiefs. And I get it. I mean, I know how good Mahomes is. I know how good Mahomes is. I know how special this team. I mean, that team is. And Andy Reid just got an extension. He's probably going to win more games than any other head coach. But Andy Reid was doing this when it was, Donovan McNabb or whoever. You just insert quarterback in Alex Smith, and he found a way to win games and play in the AFC Championship game over and over and over again. Everybody wants to, people want to attack Jim Harbaugh. They want to attack all these. They want to attack Denver and say Denver is this because we beat them so many times in a row. All these things. But at the end of the day, did the Raiders with this draft class, did the Raiders this offseason supplant themselves over the Kansas City Chiefs? I mean, that's the goal. If there's any other goal, let me know. Let me know. Because in the AFC, they are the gold standards. They are the guys sitting on the throne. And as good as a lot of these teams are, I don't see anybody taking them down. And would Michael Penix or Bo Nix or JJ McCarthy have helped the Raiders take down Mahomes? In year one, probably not. But they could have developed into a player like that. Josh Allen developed into a player where, it was his coaching staff. It was who cost them a game against the Chiefs. It was Stephon Diggs dropping a bomb 40 yards on the field when it goes right through his hands and costing him in those moments. He's a formidable foe for the Chiefs and Andy Reid. I mean, this is if you're not trying to beat the Chiefs, if you're not trying to beat Mahomes, again, what are you doing? And I like Brock Bowers. I thought that, for me, I once you decided that you said you're not going to get a quarterback, to me, maybe Latu, maybe Quinton Mitchell, maybe you go out there and just go ahead and get defense. I mean, they had the entire allotment of the defensive players there for them to get, and they didn't pick any of them. And Brock Bowers, talented, really good player. We'll kind of go more in depth with him when I get Ryan. When we talk Ryan I'll talk to other people on the channel. But is he going to help you beat Kansas City and beat Mahomes when his quarterbacks are AOC and Gardner Minshew? No matter how much you see Gardner Minshew on Max Crosby's podcast, I mean, it doesn't matter. Like that guy is not some heir apparent. They'll have some moments. Mayer will have some moments. Delonte will have some moments. They'll have numbers and they'll have moments, but Is this going to be a top 15 offense, top 10 offense with Luke Getsy as the play caller? I don't know. I don't know. But want to get a quick video out for you guys to look at, enjoy. We got some good stuff coming for you on this channel. So don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. We'll talk to you guys later when we get the big boys on. All right, later.